Good morning. It's Monday morning. It's a beautiful day. It's going to be a hot one. Today we talk about the Creed, where the Creed says, sitteth on the right hand of God the Father Almighty. And you know the old joke. Somebody said that, and somebody else says, well, does God the Father's hand start to tingle? Does his hand fall asleep? Why would his hand fall asleep? Well, because the Son is sitting on it. Ba-dum. You know, it's a dumb joke. We would say seated at the right hand of God the Father. If you think about, all those Downton Abbey dinners you watched, and in The Crown you see them, or sometimes you see pictures of state dinners and occasions of a lot of protocol. The leader is sitting at the end of the table, and the person sitting right there on his right hand, that's the most important guest. That's the position of honor. That's where you want to be seated. I heard a story once from Price Gwinn, and Price Gwinn was moderator of the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church back around 1990 or 91. And Mr. Gwinn was the chairman of Lance Crackers from Charlotte, North Carolina. So he was an elder, but he was elected moderator. And he said that during his moderatorial year, he got a letter from the White House inviting him to an occasion when the Queen was coming to visit the first President Bush. So he went there and found out when he got there that when the Queen visits a country, they always invite the bishop of the Episcopal Church, or the Anglican Church, and the leader of the Presbyterians. You see, when the Queen goes to Scotland, she's Presbyterian. And so Presbyterians are important to the Queen. And so they looked around and they said, well, who's the leader of the Presbyterian Church? And they called Louisville, and Louisville said, well, how about the moderator? And so there he was. So it was Bush and Mrs. Bush, and then the bishop of the Anglican Church, and then Mr. Gwinn, and then all the other important government people, who were furious that this guy they'd never heard of and never seen before had a position much higher in the line than they did. Of course, it was funny, he said, because the Queen knew exactly who was who. The Queen knew by the position that he was the leader of the Presbyterians, and she greeted him appropriately and all of that. And he had a wonderful time. And the other important government officials were sort of left in the dark, wondering, who is this guy? So Jesus is seated at the position of honor. If you read Revelation 4 and 5, chapter 4 and 5, you're going to read about God the Father, and all these creatures and angels and seraphim and everybody are praising him forever, and they're singing blessing and honor and glory and power and might and all this be to God. It's a wonderful thing. And then the next paragraph, the same praise is given to the Son. He's pictured as a lamb who was slain, and in odd ways, but it's clearly Jesus, and he gets the same praise as God the Father. So in the Creed, we see the echo of the first line of the Creed, I believe in God the Father Almighty. That's where Jesus is seated, at the right hand of God the Father Almighty. And so the Son and the Father are equals. The Son and the Father are worthy of praise, and the Son is worthy of all the praise that we would give to God the Father. And together they rule over us in a most benevolent and beneficent way. And keep that in mind, and have a great day. Bye-bye.